I'd like to start off with I've been divorced for 18 years and I've been trying to find the right mate for me. And I've felt that I've been moving up towards the right
18
mate.
years. For 18 years, you've been trying to find the right...
No, that's not true.
Well,
no,
then,
about
what
the
is
last 2 years.
For 2 years, you've been trying to find the right person. For 2 years.
That's correct.
So do you think maybe that the dominant vibration within you is, I've been divorced for 18 years?
No.
What do you think the dominant vibration within you is?
I think I'm getting closer. I've begun to meet people that are closer to what I'm
Well, the reason we're nitpicking here is because when you get into the vortex, it doesn't take 2 years or 2 weeks. In other words, we were teasing earlier that patience is only necessary when you're outside the vortex. Once you get in the vortex where all the cooperative components are, things begin lining up pretty fast. And so the reason that we sort of jumped in here so fast is because when you sat down, your opening words to us were so telling. I've been divorced for 18 years. And that is a powerful vibration that's going on within you, that because you say it so often and feel it so vividly, you have to overcome it and overcome it and overcome it and overcome it and overcome it, and it's just slowing you down. In other words, you do not have to define yourself as a divorced person. You would be much better off to define yourself, Abraham, I'm a fresh new person on the brink of a fabulous relationship. That's the way you want to define yourself.
I think I feel that way.
We don't think you do.
No?
If you did, you would have said that. I'm a fresh new person. You didn't. You says, I've been divorced for 18 years. That's how you feel. You feel 18 years divorced. But what you really feel is divorced. What you really feel is divorced. You really feel divorced. Stay with us. You feel divorced. And good riddance, yes?
Yes. It's been a long time.
Well, you feel better about it now, but not a lot better, because you're still defining yourself by that. In other words, so it's interesting. It's sort of what we were talking about with Esther, wanting to be really clear that they're moving into this new experience, not pushing away things not wanted in an old experience. And that's the thing that's so tricky about moving into a new relationship, is that, of course, your relationships have helped you to frame this up and to put the components into your vortex of creation. Of course, that's all part of it. But the question that we want to help you to feel within yourself is, are you more defining this new relationship by knowing what you don't want that you've lived before? Or in other words, the absence of a relationship is pretty vivid in your vibration, and knowing the components of relationships that you don't want is pretty vivid in your vibration. And as long as that stuff's active, you can't get the relationship that you want, even though it's all queued up for you, waiting for you and calling you.
That's kind of amazing, because what I was going to ask you was, I had just gone out with someone and he had so much in him that was what I was looking for, but there was this part that wasn't. I was wondering if that was from me. Well,
every particle of the universe has within it wanted and unwanted from your point of view. And the deliciousness of focus is focusing yourself upon what you want. But you see, it's a little too soon. We're not ready to say to you, go out with someone and look predominantly at their positive components, of which there are many, because even before you get to the action of that date or that interaction, you've still got plenty of vibrational stuff that you want to clean up before you go there. And if you'll clean that up before you go there, when you go there, you'll only see the stuff that you want to see. That's so interesting. It's like this cooperative component that we're talking about. So you have a relationship with someone and it's awful in this way and this way and this way and this way, which makes you ask for improvement in this way and this way and this way and this way. And the universe says, you ought to know, here it is, everything that you've asked for. Only you've been doing that for 18 years. In other words, do you have any idea of the perfection that you have put into your vortex? In other words, you have really created something magnificent. So you're not finding it isn't because it's not there and it's not ready for you. It's because you're not there and you're not ready for you. You're not a vibrational match to the dream you've dreamed because you've got too much, I've been divorced for 18 years going on in your vibration. See what we're getting at?
Absolutely. But I've come so far, I find that hard to believe. I mean, I've just been moving and moving and moving.
Well, we're not saying that you're far from manifestation. We're just saying that right now, as we visit with you, that the vibration that is active doesn't match what's in your vortex. So let's have some conversation and match it up.
Okay. How?
Well, you tell us.
What's in my vortex? What am I looking for?
Who do you think's there waiting for you? Who do you think, what kind of a relationship? Do you know that what you're creating is not a partner? What you're creating is you in a relationship. So what does that relationship with you smack dab in the middle of it look like?
It looks like a very loving relationship. Two people that love each other very much, great integrity. We're both very good for each other.
All right, so when you say integrity, what do you mean?
I mean,
because we know what spiked out of you vibrationally. You don't want deception, and you don't want somebody running off, and you don't want someone breaking promises. But
true to themselves as well as true to the relationship. I guess that's how I would put it.
So when you are in your vortex and defining what's in there for the purpose of milking it or holding yourself in there longer or affirming it. So that's what we're asking for from you. Because as you sat down, what you were affirming, even though you were using words that sort of were pointed over to the vortex, what you were affirming was the opposite of that. So now we want you to use your affirming conversation and focus to describe what's in the vortex. And can you feel, you see, when you're in the vortex, here's the missing piece for you, for a lot of you. When you're in the vortex, you heard us say, this is present tense. So when you're in the vortex, it's present tense. So what you're affirming is from your place of already living it. And there's such a huge difference between affirming it from there and standing outside of it and wanting it. Because when you're outside of it and wanting it, what you're affirming is the absence of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when you're in the vortex affirming it, it's already done. And that's what we want to hear from you. Okay. What is your relationship, the creation of you in the relationship? What's it like over here in this vibrational reality that is present tense? What's it like?
Okay. It's very warm and loving. It's friendly. It's active.
All right, make it more personal instead of it's. We're happy. I'm happy.
We're very happy. We're very active. We enjoy each other. We have a lot of fun together. We like to do a lot of things together.
All right, so now that's pretty good, but it sounds sterile. It sounds vague. Make it real. What's fun? What do you do that's fun?
We have fun kayaking together.
We kayak together.
We walk together. We listen to music together. We cook meals together. We visit friends together. We have a great love life. We generally enjoy each other.
Right,
when I hear him,
we're getting the feeling of it, but it still seems. A lady said to us one day as we were helping her, she said, "I see two people walking down the beach," and we said, "Are you one of them?" In other words, I so love my relationship. I worked on it for a long time, and I'm so glad. I remember when we came together, I just knew what it was. I could feel it at the very core of my being. Just being here, just thinking about being here fills me with that feeling of exhilaration. I so love being in love. It feels so comfortable. It is so much fun to come home. So nice to know that when I get there, there's somebody there eager to see me in the same way that I'm eager to see them. In other words, just keep talking about it as the done deal that it is until you feel the fullness of it, you see. That's what you've got to train yourself into. You've got to train yourself out of the absence of it and into the presence of it.
I actually have a whole sheet that I read every day where I've written down everything like you're saying about how I love it when he comes in the door and he plays games with my grandson, and my grandson loves to go fishing with him, and how much we enjoy doing things together. And I do feel it when I read that sheet. I feel it completely.
Good. Perfect.
Okay. Will that help me?
Well, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. So how long you been doing that?
Oh, I've been doing that for about 1.5 years.
And so what we're getting at is you need to do something different.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
and the different thing that you need to do is put yourself into it where you don't feel apart from it. In other words, we've been a little hard on you, not fair at all, because a lot of people have been in the chair and we wait till you to jump all over you. But we want you to understand a lot of people are doing exactly the same thing, and you just give us a really wonderful opportunity to talk about this, that without meaning to, you've practiced the vibration of not having a relationship, and now you're trying to use words and maybe even some willpower to conjure it. And we want you to understand that there has to be a shift in you, and the shift in you has to be that you accept that it's done, that it's present tense, and that you don't let the fact that it hasn't manifested, in other words, that it's that reality, it's the illusion of reality that is distracting you from the vibrational reality. Now, you oohed and awed when we said that earlier. Here's the perfect opportunity to really see someone doing that, where the reality of the absence of this person is just more vivid than the vibrational reality. And you've got to shift that just by affirming more from inside the vortex, by spending more time thinking about what you want from inside the vortex, by acknowledging how good your life is, by appreciating the aspects of it. Anything that you can do that makes you appreciate is an inside the vortex experience.
I've been doing an appreciation book in the morning and writing down positive aspects, and I really feel like I spend most of my life pretty happy.
Well, this conversation is a good one for us to be having with you or with anyone else, because what you're essentially saying to us is, Abraham, I'm doing everything right and not getting the results I want. I'm doing it. I'm doing everything right and not getting the results I want. And
well, I don't think I'm doing everything right, or I would have gotten the results.
Well, that's a good place to start. So what can I do what needs to shift in my vibration?
Correct.
So and we're looking for the clearest way of saying it that we can say it. You have to feel like you have the relationship rather than like you don't have it. Sort of suspending reality. So how can you make that shift? What can you think of that you might do that you haven't been doing? If your relationship had already manifested and you were already sharing a dwelling and you were already in this relationship, how would you be talking about it differently to us?
I would be saying I have this wonderful relationship that I enjoy immensely. We have so much fun together.
And you might be saying, and there are so many wonderful things in my life, and you might be talking about your grandchildren, and you might be talking about but you would not be focused upon the shortage or the absence of a relationship. This is the thing that as we talk about this vortex taking you in, we want you to understand that if you were not doing that thing you do, the vortex would take you in. So you got to stop doing that thing you do. Well, what's that thing you do? What is the thing you do that keeps the money from flowing? What's the thing you do that keeps the lover from coming? What's the thing you do? You notice the absence of the money. You notice the absence of the lover. It's just awareness of what is that keeps what really is from being. That really is all that it is. You want to get either really dead on the subject or off the subject altogether. You want to focus upon the aspects of your life that are working and stay off the subject of the absence of it. It's not fun to have someone like us say to you, there's something going on in your vibration that's keeping you from this thing that you want so much. But the results that you are living is the real indicator that there's something going on. And so we're just helping you figure out what it is. And it's not a big thing, and it's not a hard thing to see. It is awareness of something unwanted, or the awareness of the absence of something wanted. It's all that it is. You see it, don't you? Everyone, it's easier for others to see it. So when you get up in the morning, if your lover were there, in other words, as we'll give you an example, as Jerry and Esther are together, and while they really like being together, when they're together, they're not in each other's face all day saying, oh, we're together, we're together, we're together, we're together, we're together. After a while, they just accept that they're together. In other words, there isn't this big feeling of needing to celebrate being together, because they're together and it is natural to be together. You get the sense of what we're talking about? And so that's what we want you to do. We want you to start, we'd like to zap you with our knowledge that it is a sure thing, that it is a done thing, that you don't have to struggle and work. You don't need willpower. You don't need to focus this in some strong way. You've created it. It's done. The universe has lined it up. You've just got to find some way of softening your awareness that the relationship hasn't manifested yet, and start celebrating what you've already got cooking over here in this vortex of creation. And this person will walk into your life, and it will feel so natural that we promise you won't get in each other's face and say, there you are, there you are, there you are, there you are. You'll say, there you are, there you are. You see what we're getting at? Good time for a segment of reflection.